Yo, welcome back to E-Bike Reviewer. And I'll be honest, when I first checked out the Ariel Rider X-Class 60 volt online, I was skeptical. On paper, the numbers didn't sound crazy. 750 watt motor, 60 volt system. I figured it'd be a solid e-bike, but nothing mind-blowing. But once I rode it, I was dead wrong. Hook this thing up to the Bikego app, unlock it, and this sleeper turns into a straight-up monster. I hit 46 miles an hour on throttle only, and it's got the highest torque I've tested this year. No exaggeration. And it's not just speed. The ride quality, the upgraded suspension, and that crazy big battery make this bike the total package. Powerful, smooth, and legal to ride without constantly having to watch over your shoulder. Let's talk performance, and not the kind you find on spec sheets. Because here's the thing, I don't trust e-bike wattage claims anymore. One brand says 2,000 watts and it rides like a toaster. Another says 1,000 watts and it launches like a rocket. So on this channel, we focus on what actually matters. Acceleration, top speed, hill climbing. Those numbers can't lie. And the X-Class 60 volt, it's one of the hardest pulling e-bikes we've tested this year. When I first checked out the specs, 750 watt motor, I wasn't expecting much. I figured it'd be okay. Then I unlocked it using the Bikego app, twisted the throttle, and whoa, this thing absolutely hauls. It doesn't feel like a 750 watt e-bike. It feels like it's putting down something around 3,000 watts, easily. Full throttle, no pedaling, we hit 46 miles per hour on GPS with a 190-pound rider. And what's even more impressive, it holds that speed with zero drama. No fade, no wobble, just steady, silent pull. The X-Class hit 20 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds, and it did it without feeling sketchy or out of control. That low-end torque is immediate and super manageable. You don't need to fight this bike, it just works with you. All right, we're about to hit our hill climb test. This is the same test we run on every high-performance bike. A 1 mile climb with an average 12% incline. No pedaling, just throttle. Let's see what the X-Class 60 volt can do. Over the full climb, the X-Class held an average speed of 27.4 miles per hour and never once dropped below 24, even toward the top. It didn't flinch, no overheating, no cutback. The high voltage 60 volt 35 amp hour battery plus that controller kept it surging the entire way. This motor isn't just fast, it's efficient under load. On hills like this, you usually feel bikes grasping for breath. Now this one, it just keeps pushing. From bottom to top, the climb took about 2 minutes and 11 seconds, making it one of the fastest single motor climbers we've tested. So yeah, the X-Class 60 volt may say 750 watts on paper, but in real world riding, it performs like a 3,000 watt class e-bike. Blazing acceleration, insane top speed, confident hill climbing, this thing just isn't fast. It's built to hold that speed under real world conditions. When you're riding a 100+ pound e-bike that can hit 46 miles per hour, your brakes better be on point. And thankfully, Ariel Rider did not cheap out. The X-Class 60 volt is equipped with 4-piston hydraulic brakes and large 203mm rotors all around. These aren't just average brakes, they're built for serious speed and weight. As I can see, they are the same brakes available on Sur-Ron and Talaria. I can also see the rotors are thicker than regular Tektro brakes. To test the stopping performance, we ran a very simple brake test. Riding at a constant 20 miles per hour, we apply the brakes and measure the distance it takes to stop. No pedaling, no regen, just real world braking power. This gives us a good sense of how the bike handles in emergency stop situations. From 20 miles an hour to a full stop, the bike came to a halt in just 19 feet and 2 inches. That's really solid for a heavy, high-speed e-bike, and honestly, it stops smoother than other e-bikes we've tested. You get strong bite from the front brake, and if you're too aggressive on the rear, it can lock up slightly, but the 4-piston hydraulic setup gives great modulation and control. When it comes to safety features, Ariel Rider didn't leave anything out, but they also took things a step further. The X-Class 60 volt uses a 12-volt motorcycle lighting system, and you can absolutely tell. That unique dual beam setup offers both high and low beam options. The brightness actually rivals most motorcycles. Here's something I love. Because it runs on 12 volts, You get the freedom to swap in any aftermarket motorcycle headlight you want. Want something even wilder? You've got flexibility. You've also got a bright brake light that triggers under braking and proper front and rear turn signals. And a simple, reliable horn to keep you heard on the road. Whether you're out at night or cutting through traffic, the visibility on this bike is no joke, and it's backed by a real lighting system built for the street. Now let's talk about battery and range, because this is where the X-Class 60V goes full heavyweight. This beast comes with a 60V 35 amp hour battery setup. That's over 2100 watt-hours of capacity. Easily one of the biggest battery setups you'll find on any production e-bike under $3,000. It's not just big, it's built right. This pack uses Samsung 21700 cells, the same type you might find in high-performance EVs. These cells are designed to handle heat, vibration, and high output without degrading fast. This wasn't just a chill Sunday cruise. I tested the range the way most of us ride. Hard throttle, mixing in pedal assist, riding at high speeds with plenty of hill climbs thrown in. No coasting, no PAS1, no games to stretch the battery. Because let's be real, no one buys the X-Class 60V to cruise around at 12 miles per hour in eco mode. We made it 36.3 miles. That's a super solid number for a bike with this kind of torque and power. A lot of brands quote 50 or 60 miles, but they base that on PAS1 at 12 miles per hour on flat ground. That's not testing, that's marketing. This range is honest. It's what you can actually expect if you ride this bike the way it was built to be ridden. Ariel Rider has 100 miles claimed range on their website, but this isn't something realistic if you enjoy high power and speed. Now let's talk charging. Ariel Rider currently includes two 3-amp chargers with every performance edition. You can charge both packs at the same time. With these chargers, you're back to 100% in about 6 to 6.5 hours, depending on your starting voltage and whether you're topping off or charging from empty. When it comes to build quality, the X-Class feels like a proper machine, not a slap-together kit. From the moment you hop on, it gives off more motorcycle energy than e-bike vibes, and it backs it up with some real structure. The frame is built from reinforced aluminum alloy, and it's rock solid. No flex when cornering, no rattle, no hollow feel. It's heavy, but that weight translates to stability, especially when riding fast. And compared to the old version, this suspension has been noticeably upgraded. You now get a beefier, more responsive front fork, a rear shock that actually handles bumps as opposed to pogo sticking you into the air. Whether you're tackling rough streets or light off-road, it just soaks it up. And that rear suspension, it's a Fast Ace brand, which is quite high-end. I've taken this over bad pavement, potholes, curb drops, you name it. This new suspension actually works. Another underrated upgrade is the tire setup. Most fat tire e-bikes run 20-inch by 4-inch tires. But the X-Class gives you 4.5-inch front and massive 5-inch rear tires, which means better grip during acceleration, more cushion over bumps, a planted, stable ride at high speeds, and improved traction under braking and cornering. You really feel the difference, especially when riding aggressively. The saddle is super comfortable, wide, supportive with just enough padding to smooth out rough roads. But I'll be honest, it isn't really my style. It's functional and comfortable, but kind of bulky. The X-Class isn't perfect. There are definitely a couple things that we don't like about it. The first off being the weight. This thing's heavy, like seriously heavy. You really feel it when you're trying to load it into a car, take it up some stairs, or do any tight parking maneuvers. Once you're moving, it rides great, but man, this thing isn't something you want to haul around by hand. Number two, while the seat is comfortable, it doesn't look very aggressive and is kind of bulky. Form over function, I guess. The third being the display. It works fine, but it just doesn't have a premium feel. Don't get me wrong, it's bright enough and very easy to read, it's just not the best. And speaking of riding, there's no torque sensor. You're working with a cadence-based pedal assist, which is fine for cruising, but it doesn't really feel as natural or responsive as a torque-based system. That being said, this isn't the kind of e-bike that's built for pedaling. Most people are going to be riding throttle heavy, so a torque sensor might improve the experience overall. It's not a deal breaker for the way this bike is meant to be ridden. So yeah, it's heavy, the seat could look better, the display is basic, and the pedal assist lacks some finesse. But none of these are deal breakers, and honestly, none of them take away from how fun and powerful this bike really is. So after putting some real miles on the Ariel Rider X-Class 60V, here's the bottom line. This thing is an absolute powerhouse, wrapped in a street legal package with smart upgrades in all of the right places. The motor feels like it's putting out 3,000 watts, even though it's rated at 750 watts. It rips on hills, launches at stoplights, and holds speed better than anything we've tested in this price class. The 60 volt 35 amp hour battery with Samsung cells and integrated BMS isn't just powerful, it's built to last. And in our high-speed real-world riding, it still hit 36.3 miles before cutoff. That's legit range for a bike that rides this hard. The upgraded suspension and tires and stable frame make this ride feel controlled, even at 40 plus miles per hour. It's not a featherweight, the saddle's a little chunky, but once you're rolling, it's planted, comfortable, and ready for real miles. Stopping power is dialed in. The 4-piston hydraulic brakes are confidence-inspiring, and the 12-volt motorcycle-style lighting system puts out serious brightness, with the option to upgrade if you want even more. You feel visible, you feel in control. And one thing that really stands out, the bike comes pre-configured with power and speed limits that keep it street legal right out of the box. So if you're just commuting or riding around town, you don't have to worry about breaking any laws or attracting unwanted attention. But if you want to push the limits, you can always unlock the higher speeds using a third-party app like Bikego. Just make sure to check your local state regulations, and we always recommend using unlocked mode on private property only. This is E-Bike Reviewer. Smash that like button if you found this helpful, hit subscribe for deep dive e-bike content, and drop a comment if there's a bike you want us to review next. Catch you on the next ride.